Hello, this is Thomas from Geon Technologies, and I want to personally thank you all for your support of this channel. It has been several months since our last video, and yet the views and subscriptions keep counting up. Frankly, we've been extremely busy working on a number of internal projects. Some of those projects are going to be made open source this year, some will be shown here as demos, and some will result in training on our site and here. So in this video, I'll give you a snapshot of some of the things we have planned over the next several months. Where we left you last was our cognitive radio project, which we used for demoing a number of topics, from the amusing voice activation with the Amazon Echo to the practical Docker-based deployment of Red Hawk devices to enable using the latest drivers within a container to connect to various Edis research devices like the B205 Mini and the N210. And of course, they were all connected to our first generation cognitive radio system that was hunting for Zigbee and Wi-Fi signals. That system was developed on Red Hawk 2.0 and used our REST Python UI server, which is our develop-2.0-PB public branch, as well as our Angular Red Hawk UI framework, which is actually published, but not the version that we've been using in the video. For the last half of 2016, we kicked off version 2 of our system, and we'll be demoing some concepts over the course of the year as we show other features, like a new UI framework and a Bootstrap 4 friendly UI kit. Each is using Angular 2, as well as a forthcoming version of the REST Python server that adds a number of Red Hawk 2.0 features like the Event Channel Manager. This new system will be using Red Hawk 2.0.4, which, among other features and bug fixes, also allows us to move forward to CentOS 7 as our base operating system. That shift will also open the door for more modern Docker integration thanks to the updated kernel, among other nice things. Each of these elements, in their own way, will help easing some of the infrastructure constraints that were imposed by CentOS 6 in the previous version, as well as make it easier to stand up open embedded build environments. And speaking of open embedded, those of you who frequent our GitHub may have noticed that Meta Red Hawk SDR has changed in the last couple of weeks. Thanks to Ben Hilburn of Edis Research having issued a pull request against the Red Hawk core framework a few minor revisions back, we were able to create a handful of patches for Meta Red Hawk SDR that allowed more recent compilers to be used with it. This opened the door to using the more recent branches of the open embedded layers, which opens even more doors to other device support. So in the next couple of weeks, expect to see at least one release detailing how to get started quickly with an emulator. Then, we'll take you from an emulated environment to targeting an AVNet microZ based on a Xilinx Zynq processor. And if we're allowed, we'll also demo an actual production target that combined Red Hawk SDR and OpenCPI. The result was front-end hardware control and on-the-fly reconfigurable post-processing within the FPGA fabric, managed by Red Hawk SDR front-end tuner device. That target, from Ivea, is also a Zynq FPGA, but required its own specialized board support package layer, which brought its own challenges. But this one is on the if table as of this video. Another open embedded project is, of course, our work with the E310. Patrick, you'll remember from the Amazon Echo video, has taken additional measures to integrate developer version of UHD, which includes RFNOC support, into a Red Hawk Persona device, something we've never really discussed and is only barely mentioned in the documentation. The gist is that we have the ability now to deploy Red Hawk components that have an RFNOC implementation versus C or Python into the E310's FPGA for even higher performance front-end signal processing. That demo is also coming soon. Oh, and our website is getting a gigantic redesign to make it easier to access all of this content, so be looking forward to that. So that's a lot of talking. I need to get back to doing so that we can get back to showing. Thank you all for watching. I'm Thomas with Geon Technologies. Please don't hesitate to contact us for in-class training and support. We'll talk to you again in a couple weeks.